Good morning and welcome to regular session, Monday, July 29th. We have a full quorum present. Katie, certified meeting was probably posted. If you'll please rise for prayer and pledges. Okay.
Our Father, we humbly bow before you this morning, asking for your presence to be with these commissioners and judge during this court session. Father, that we may conduct business that is good for the residents of Walker County. Father, we thank you for their lives and what they mean to this county. Father, we also want to mention the firefighters from the New Waverly area who are going to be deployed to California. Father, we just pray for their safety. Father, may you reach down and strengthen them and keep them safe as only you can do. Father, we thank you for all these blessings that you give us. Father, we ask that you remind us of your love for us. Father, thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Receive any citizens' input? The consent agenda contains 29 items,
Pull number 10, Judge.
or 11, 10 and 11. Anybody else?
No, so I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, removing number 10 and 11.
All right.
Second.
Moving, second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried.
Judge, can you go to 11?
Yep, I'm gonna do 11 first. Approve proclamation 2024-69 declaring July 29th, 2024 as Colonel John Arola Day.
Colonel, I see him back here. You finally showed up, Colonel. I see you this morning.
Yeah, Colonel was late.
We're gonna read this proclamation for you.
Wherever you're comfortable.
Whereas John Arola began his life as the son of an Italian immigrant, being born in Houston in 1934, growing up with 4 siblings and earning a bachelor's degree from Sam Houston State Teachers College in 1955. And whereas in August of 1955, joining the U.S. Marine Corps, and 2 years later, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant. And whereas over the course of his military career, John completed multiple assignments, both statewide and overseas, to include a tour in Vietnam, retiring at the rank of colonel in 1987 after more than 3 decades of service to his country and earning the Bronze Star Medal of Valor and the Combat Action Ribbon. And whereas John's service continued as a lifetime Huntsville resident with his involvement in the local organizations such as the Crabsbury Fire Department, the Harts Veterans Museum of Texas, and the Huntsville United Methodist Church. And whereas Colonel Arola enjoyed his marriage to his wife, Kate, for more than 3 decades before her passing in 1990, a union that produced 4 wonderful children, Eric, David, Glenn, and Susan, that all followed their father's example and served in our country's military. And whereas in 1995, Colonel Arola was blessed to meet and marry his second wife, Sherry, to whom he was married to until her passing in 2012. And that now therefore be it resolved that Colonel John Arola celebrates his 90th birthday on July 29th, 2024, completing 9 decades of service and fortitude. Therefore, in official recognition of John's accomplishments, we, the undersigned, do hereby proclaim July 29th, 2024 as Colonel John Arola Day in Walker County. No, Colonel.
Hey.
I'm sure Tara puts a picture.
We get a picture.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you, she always wants a picture. That's all right.
Thank goodness for that. This has been a big surprise.
Glad to still have you, Colonel.
You wanna come out?
Yeah, watch it. Yeah.
Fill that out a little prettier. Dates.
Fine to meet you there.
Yes, sir.
Been nice knowing you all,
Hey, Ron.
all my life.
Yeah, I have, yeah, I met you before, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir. I think they want to.
They want you to
Yeah,
turn
there you
around.
go.
About
I know you're not used to people telling you what to do.
You wanna come in? Okay, all right. By the way, these are the kids.
You gonna bring your family up here, John?
Pardon me?
You gonna bring your family up here?
Come on up here.
Yeah, y'all come to the front.
Oh, grandkids, son-in-law.
Yes, I was always a background.
Ain't nobody want a picture.
No.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
These are half my military family. This is Lieutenant Colonel, or Colonel Susan Arola. Lieutenant Colonel David Arola, Air Force. Then I got two others, Marine captains. They're not in here though tonight.
That's awesome.
All made it through.
Hang on one second, 'cause I'm gonna use the big white button. There you go.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Colonel.
Ryan got to mess up all that love. His next item.
How you know?
Oh, yeah.
We had some love going on, but it ain't gonna last long, Bill. I can't keep up on paper. What did you do?
This, which one?
Yeah, man.
Good stuff to remember.
Oh, we can just talk about it.
We need to make a move.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Is that your motion?
I'll make a motion with Proclamation 20.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Go back to number 10, receive order for salary of 12th Judicial District Court Reporter, 278th Judicial District Court Reporter, and the County Auditor, and assistance for budget year 2024-2025.
I know we visited a few minutes ago, Patricia, but Quentin.
Quick, for future reference, this should actually be two separate agenda items. I believe it'll be okay to approve them jointly today, but as a court, you have the option of approving one, two, actually, maybe three separate agenda items. So you can approve any combination of them or disapprove any combination of them.
All right, thank you, Quentin. Can you kind of explain to the court what you explained to us, what this order is coming from the judge?
The auditor one.
Yes, on your side of it.
This is the raise that is discussed to give all county employees the 2% plus the 4.6 over the current salary. And then last year, there were three auditor 3 positions budgeted and 2 auditor 4s. In this order, there is 4 4s and 1 3. Net cost to the county to do this is about $3,500.
Okay, I mean, this is, it goes into the salary study to Patricia, those two people,
All positions except the county auditor.
except, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and all of these positions would be within the pay grade. None of them exceed midpoint. The 2 auditor 4s are less than midpoint.
So everybody's under.
Everybody else would be at the new midpoint after the countywide adjustment.
All right, the order that they also sent down on the what do you call it?
Court reporter.
Court reporters. How much of a raise is that?
That is a 5% raise from the current salary. The district judges' salaries are split between the 3 counties. Each district serves, and it's based on statutorily on a percentage. So 3 counties pay a percentage of their total salary, and the total salary's been increased by 5%.
That's included in the 3,500.
No.
No, this
Just
is
on-
totally separate. What we talked about first was just Patricia.
They're less than that because they're split. When you look at your new supplemental, list today, you'll see the amount for each court. Oh, that's over and above what the 2% plus 460 would have been.
Well, I know they may have the authority to do this. I don't particularly have they talked to any of us on the court? They talked to you, Colt?
No.
I mean,
So
I get a little irritated every
Yeah.
year when they just cram it down our throats.
We expressed some concerns last year. I mean, we've been in a budget and a half now, and almost 2 months actually. And it comes at the very end. That's 2 years in a row. This would be something that we need to know upfront, I think, we do it in other departments where, you budget say 5%, and if you take whatever the county gets, this is no different in my opinion, other than waiting until July the 25th to meet and then tell us on the next Monday that this is the way it's going to be. I don't appreciate it.
There is one difference. There is, before any of these salaries are set, they advertise a public hearing and they hold a public hearing at the time they set the salaries.
So is there any reason it couldn't be done earlier then, Ms. Patricia? So that we know this going into budget?
I can't speak to that.
I understand.
No,
But,
you
I
got
mean,
the same concerns.
Statutorily, is there any reason? No.
So anyway, like I say, it is what it is, and I know they probably have the authority to do it, but I still don't. That's not your problem, it's mine. I mean, it's got done every year. We've had a conflict with the judges, 4 or 5 years ago on something that was trying to do. And it'd be nice if they would at least visit with the court during budget and give us their ideas, but, it appears sometimes when they put the robes on, they don't give a crap about us. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone at that.
All right.
All right, I'm ready. I don't know. I can't even approve this. Y'all do what you do. I'm not going to approve this at this point. I can approve the audit part.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, the 2 orders on the rest of it, I think they need to come to court and ask us for it.
Well, is there any reason why that the court reporter can't have the 2% just like everybody else? I mean, of course, other than the district judges have 5%. I understand help is hard to find. Help is hard to find with anybody.
Yeah.
And we set up, and this is going to come about this same scenario. We're going to talk about it again a little bit later on in the budget workshop.
Yeah.
But we try to keep it consistent for everybody, and that's our job.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to make hard decisions and deviate from that, but it shouldn't be a normal practice. And so I think we vote, I'll be siding we're on.
I think this is a receive item.
Yeah. Is it?
Yep, receipt order.
Yeah.
That's
Order.
how it was.
Receive
can.
according to available funds, I believe.
But I think we could
I
be
questioned
in
this
touch
way
with them
back.
early next year. Tell them maybe instead of an order like this, then it
Yeah.
would be much more teammate worthy, for lack of a better term. If their letter just said that we're going to recommend that our people get the same raise the county decides on for all employees, that would be easier. Then we'd have something to deal with during budget. But
How much of an increase is that? I know 5%. 5%.
4,000.
4,000
About 4,000, $5,000 somewhere along there. Figured it up earlier, but
We just had EMS come and talk to us on a whim for a couple $100,000.
true. Right.
Now we're arguing over $8,000.
No, I'm not arguing over $8,000, but every year they do the
this
same
is a
thing.
normal practice for the judges. They just
Well,
send it.
No, I don't disagree with you with that. I'm just saying, if we let them know up front, like, hey, why are you going up 5%? Or
Yeah.
if you're gonna be above it, bring something so we can say, hey, you know what?
It's justified a little bit.
They're paying $8 and everybody else is paying 87. We should address that. So it is what it is.
Answer the question of how much above the 2%, $460 for the 12th judicial district, that was $1,433.
Yeah.
for the 278, that was 2342 because of the difference in the splits.
Okay.
And we typically doing 2% for everybody else.
Yeah.
Group, the total was 3594 as I.
It's not a big number, but it's different than the rest of the entire county, the way they
And
handle it.
the number, I think that what for the EMS is.
Way bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
different
240s.
discussion.
We'll just leave it there, yeah.
EMS number is 308,548 above the 2%.
Oh, that was-
460.
Yeah, well, you put the benefits in it, yeah, it runs the number on it, but
And all of these include benefits.
I'll make the motion to approve agenda item 10, receiving the order for salary, the 12th, 278th, and the county auditor and assistance budgets.
I'll second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed,
we won't have to pose this for her at this point.
motion carries 3-2. Number 30, discuss and take action on approval of county court at law court reporter salary to be equal to the 12th and 278th district reporter salary for the budget year 2024-2025.
At least you look at
Just
it.
once.
I'm always willing to do that, even on the heels of that discussion. I'm at the mercy of the same district judges, meeting that y'all are at the mercy of. I can't, so 2 issues. One, we try to keep things equal and consistent. I think that's important, for the same job. We already figured that out with the salary study, but, I can't ask in my budget for what that increase should be if I don't know what the increase is going to be. So here I am just asking that you guys consider doing the same thing for the court reporter that works in my court as you all have done for me.
Well, you know, and I appreciate that, Judge. I appreciate you coming. And so don't feel bad, or don't hold it against me when I don't raise my hand on that. But in this order, it also states that they will take more if more is given through the county, but it doesn't ever say anything about what happens if it takes less.
No.
Which is always the
Yeah,
case.
and it's not your order, Sarah.
So I'm just proving that point, you know, you can ask for more and everything is good, but you know, if we're given less, then you expect more. And so, I think it's just a lack of communication on our part and theirs. And, maybe we can render it next year. If not, we'll try again.
Yes, sir.
I'll still be here, and so will they.
With y'all's permission, I'd like to have a conversation with the district judge. about why don't we, because I don't really like standing here asking for something outside of the budget either, because that's not the way that's supposed to work, right?
Well, you know, we got one, this is our last meeting. Next meeting, we have to, approve the budget. So, I mean, it does have a bearing.
My budget numbers were supposed to be in a long time ago, but I can't.
I get that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we understand that.
Yeah.
But if I could express to them with y'all's permission that this needs to happen maybe in May.
You can express that I didn't like it. I'm not talking for the rest of them, but I'm talking for me.
We should.
I'm sure they probably will watch it, but that's fine too.
Yes.
Anyhow, we appreciate it, Judge.
I'm not talking for the rest of y'all,
No,
but I will if you want me to.
I think we're fine. I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion to approve agenda item number 30 as presented.
Second it.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed.
I'm
Motion
happy
passes
opposed, not for you, but from the other.
I appreciate consistency. Thank you all for your.
Number 31, receive update from Small Business Administration on disaster assistance. They didn't show up and they called to be here. Mr. Davis, you want to give us an update on the disaster? Number 31.
Well, I got a backup anyway.
The disaster recovery center was opened on April 29th and run from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week until the hurricane blew in, and we closed them down for 6 days shelter in that facility for the victims. I think our largest number was 6 that we had in the shelter, and that was ran by American Red Cross. Last week, they were back to 7 to 7, running the disaster recovery center, DRC, and for Hurricane Burrow, they had 270 people show up to talked to. And for the flood back in April, they had 143. Last week was the last week. They're running 7 to 7. That starting this morning, they're going to 8 to 6. And will be open, and they're open until August the 24th, unless the court sees fit to close it earlier. All of the Texas DRCs are operating on that schedule.
Questions?
Is it?
Sounds
Thank you,
good,
Mr.
Butch.
Davis. Number 32, discuss and take action on the purchase of two 2024 Dodge Durangos from Wisniewski with budgeted funds. Constable.
Constable,
Good morning,
good
gentlemen.
morning.
Well, that item says that I don't I'm not buying anything from Wisniewski yet, or we may not be. There's some miscommunication wording when I sent that request in. What I need you guys to do in current budget, 2023-24 budget, I have 100. You go back to my spreadsheet.
Your memory's not that good, Constable.
I don't think it's
Pretty good, but I don't.
Oh, who would do that?
I don't see a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Current budget, I have $128,254. It's two different line items. One line says replacement vehicles for 64,000 or something. The next line, it says replacement Tahoe. I just need y'all to approve that, change the wording of that to replacement vehicles, allow me to buy replacement vehicles, which at this current time, the purchasing department has sent out solicitations for a spec vehicle, Dodge Durango, for soliciting bids. We have no agreement with Wisniewski. Can you go down, show me that order from Wisniewski?
Back up.
It was back.
They haven't finished their paperwork yet. Constable.
Right there.
Right there. When I first talked to Wisniewski, they created this document so I could get this number right here, this 43,156. They called it a buyer's agreement. We have no agreement yet. So my experience with Commissioner's Court, when you come to court, if you create a spreadsheet, you throw some numbers out there, court said, well, how'd you get that number, Constable? I said, well, I got that number from right there. We don't have an agreement yet. I don't need to approve. We're not buying anything from them yet. All I needed was approval to change the wording in my current budget funds to allow me to use the current budget funds to buy replacement vehicles, not a Tahoe, not buying a Tahoe. That makes sense?
That makes sense. That's your motion?
So that's my motion.
I'll second that for the constable.
Thank you, gentlemen.
See, I didn't
You
pick
got,
on
you
you.
got that typed out, Gary?
Sure.
You got that typed out? Okay. I got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, sir.
Number 33, discuss and take action on interlocal agreement between Walker County and Polk County to provide inmate housing. Pablo, good morning.
Good morning, yeah. Polk County called us a couple of months back and asked if we could house 40-something. And of course, I pulled out the old contracts. They were outdated. The numbers were low. I think the sheriff got with Patricia and they came up with a figure of $55 a day per prisoner. But in the end, Polk County never sent us any prisoners. In the meantime, when the hurricane blew through San Jacinto County Jail, the roof got destroyed and they had the emergency house prisoners everywhere. Polk County took a bunch of them. We took 14 and now we're trying to get the contract post prisoner. Today we have 11 San Jacinto County inmates.
So you need this approved.
Need that approved.
That's my motion to approve it. So we're within the contract.
I've got one question.
Yes, sir.
Instead of doing one with Polk and San Jacinto and different counties, can we just do one arbitrary?
Wait a
He's
minute.
already shaking his head. Okay.
Each one has.
We
to
have a
be-
bunch set up
each one has
already.
to be a separate jail because they're each interlocal agreements.
Okay.
And the captain has basically described both agreements here. You're obviously gonna vote
Yeah.
first on Polk and then one on San Jacinto. But I did, since he's talked about it, I'm gonna mention this on the San Jacinto one. The only reason they took these inmates prior to completing the agreement was because the jail commission essentially required them to do that.
Because of the roof.
Exactly.
Did I get a second?
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Number 34, discuss and take action on the interlocal agreement between Walker County and San Jacinto County to provide housing inmates.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand.
You
Motion
done
carries.
good, Captain.
Number 35, discuss and take action to approve the addendum to add Evergreen Hills Municipal Utility District Number 1 of Walker County to the joint election agreement of November 5th, 2024 general election.
Where is? this?
Yeah, that's my question. Where's it at?
Good morning, and you the one to tell us,
The mud.
where's it at?
Okay, so from the meets and bounds, it looks like it is behind 2821 and 247. There's an entrance kind of off of Quality Boulevard, and then there's also an entrance off of Ribbits Drive, which I think is a private drive. So it's kind of somewhere
Oh,
back
city?
in there.
Yes,
behind-
big,
Ought to be.
big subdivision way up there north of town. Off of 247.
Okay.
Your world.
I definitely didn't even know where it was at. So,
It's north of town and, remember the old Jeff Pipes property out yonder?
She's talking about, what roads did you call again?
Ribbits Drive, which is a private drive, and then Quality Boulevard, there's some storage units, I believe, behind there.
So that's in the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's still. an
Quality is
election-
where-
Election for election.
community service, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's,
But how do they not have city utilities?
Well, they will. They'll have
Why do
city,
they need a mud?
well, they could get city, but the city has done, this one I read in the paper. The city's done like at least one mud, if not two now. People are coming in and
Yeah, they
getting.
got one out by Elkins. Yeah.
Yeah.
News to me, sorry, didn't know.
I didn't either. I'm proud you educated me.
Okay.
Okay, that's yours, right?
So does it,
I assume.
well, how does this affect our participation in the cost? Are we gonna pay, or everybody's cost? Does that spread the cost out to everybody else? Because they're gonna pitch in
They'll pay
something.
their portion of it.
Yeah, they'll pay something.
If
They
they
will
have
pay
some-
their portion, yes,
It's their
sir. It'll be
portion.
Split out, yes, sir.
Okay,
They'll, if they didn't already, they'll probably, unless this is guided out on the call, reading it all the way through, just they have an amendment in it to share the cost.
okay. You
Okay,
got it, Danny.
I'll make a motion to approve it, I reckon.
Second.
Move second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Number 36, discuss and take action on funding source for Gibbs Powell Home Sewer Line repairs. Right?
We have a quote from the city to do some sewer line repairs, it's kind of sewer line repair, but talking about work that has to be done under Avenue M, which is also FM 247. I hope to by the end of tomorrow, have a camera run down there to be sure that we actually need a tap. We had a clean out installed over there last week and we haven't been able to get to it to run that thing, but just in case if we do need the funding, I wanted to come and ask for approval. We wouldn't have to wait. I've talked with James Ferguson with the city and he would like to review the video from the camera feed once we get done, so we can make a good determination as to whether we need to get road up.
I mean, this hours to maintain according to contract, correct?
Yes.
I think if I read that somewhere in the past.
It's been out for months.
Where we gonna pull the funding from, Tricia?
If there's not money within the facilities budget, the facilities project budget.
Sounds good to me. I don't see where we got much options. That's a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Number 37, discuss and take action on the award of solicitation C 2360-24-010 external audit. Morning.
Handing out bid tabs, and it's for the next 3 items.
Thank you.
They're-
So I wouldn't
they're
ask you
in
for
order.
it. Right.
They're in order.
Thank you.
So if y'all will just look at the first one.
Okay.
Okay, so the first agenda item was
No burn.
Audit.
external audit. And After the evaluation of the scores, on the bid tab, we had, three vendors. And, Patilla Brown and Hill, of course, had the best score, and the best pricing. They are the incumbent. And, what they have offered, we are paying less on the new contract than what we are on the existing. So asking that you guys approve.
Okay. So I'll make the motion to approve Patillo Brown and Hill for external auditing services to the county.
So Tricia, was there, any problems with this company that was okay to deal with?
We don't anticipate any problems.
I'll second.
Well, moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 38, discuss and take action on the award of solicitation C 2360-24-004 jail food services.
The solicitation was let, we had three vendors. And one of them during our best and final offer withdrew their bid. So we ended up with two. And we are asking that you award this to the incumbent Summit. Again, if you'll notice on the bid tab, our current of what we're paying, Summit has offered less than what we're paying now. And offering to supply staff meals. I've asked Captain Dovla to stay and discuss things if needed. He was the chairperson for that. But they do have the highest score with the lowest price.
John, you good?
I'm good with it, yes, sir.
So John, I'm assuming, looking at this, it's dropping a penny, I reckon. Usually keep between, what, 2 and 2 1/4 in there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good.
I think we're at 225 this morning.
Yeah.
That's what the St. Jacinto County.
Sounds good.
That's your motion.
I'll make a motion. We, award it to Summit with the current price.
I'll second that.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Discuss and take action on award of solicitation C 2360-24-008 towing.
Again, the solicitation was let for our towing services. We received a bid from Pete Johnson Towing, and I am asking that you award the solicitation for our towing services to Pete Johnson.
That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. We're
Thank you,
gonna,
Mr. Hill.
we're gonna,
Oh, you done? Never mind.
number 40,
Okay.
discuss and take action on your request for a price increase to C 2360-21-001 pest control service.
Yes, these are our pest control services, and every year we send out renewal letters to renew their contract. And on the consent agenda, if we have no price increases, we will get that for them to be approved for there. However, with the price increase, we leave it back to him for your guys. I provided this year in what we're paying currently, and then what the increases are for.
This bid out last, whenever we started this contract.
Yes. Is this the last renewal?
This is the last renewal.
Yeah, this is the last renewal for this.
40.
Next one, we will have to solicit.
That pack's in your book.
I'll second that.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand.
42.
Precision.
Pest control service.
Motion approves. 41, discuss and take action on the request for a price increase to C 2360-21-008 civil engineering service for GLS.
Again, this is a renewal. is this our last? 4 out of 4. So we'll be soliciting these services again next year, but this is the last renewal. Andy had looked at it just now. I apologize. Send it to you. Yeah, not all of them, but just some. And again, I provided you guys with the current and what they are asking to increase to.
And this is our secondary.
Yep.
You are correct.
I'll make a motion, we award it to GLS.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried.
We need to go back to that. Shouldn't have voted, and Danny shouldn't have either on consent.
Oh, the number 29.
Can we pull that?
Clinton,
Make a motion to revisit it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to revisit 29, number 29.
I'll second that.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried. So we'll go back to number 29, approve renewal of contract C 2360-24-003. Mowing Lee Kirkendall, no change in price.
I shouldn't have voted on this earlier. It was in the consent agenda. I forgot to pull it. Danny shouldn't have voted on it either. We both need to.
What do you call it?
What's our proper term?
Staying.
Not a staying. Present not
President
voting.
not voting.
So anyway, we
Make a
need,
motion.
Make the motion to approve agenda item 29 as presented.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
thank you.
We're gonna swing back to 31, receive update from Small Business Administration.
Thank you.
You'll state your name for Ms. French, please.
My name is Barbara Knight. I represent the Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. So yes, I'm here due to the disasters that happened on April 26th through June 5th, and also Hurricane Beryl, which is July 5th through July 9th. So both declarations, Walker County is included. Residential declaration, SBA, and helping out, on our end, we help out homeowners, rent, nonprofit organizations, and places of worship if they were damaged during that time period, the incident period. For home loans, we offer up to $500,000 to repair physical damage to your home, and $100,000 for personal property, anything that's inside the home and your primary car. Renters can only receive the $100,000 for personal property and the primary car, but homeowners get $500,000 and $100,000. Okay. For businesses, it's up to $2 million. For machinery, equipment, inventory, anything that was affected during the disasters, and economic injury disaster, which is if you had economic losses, you were closed and suffered any type during that timeline, you get that working capital to, at least keep your business afloat. 1 out of 5 businesses make it a disaster, so just really want to force everybody that, there's options available for these businesses and take full advantage. It's a 0% interest for 1 year, no accrual. It's really to help you rebuild and recover. They're up to 30 years, to mention, and there is a refinance if you had a previous mortgage on your home. You can get the low interest rate for home loan is as low as 2.68%, for business as low as 4%, and for nonprofits the lowest 2.3. It's 3.25. Sorry. And also for nonprofits, I wanted to mention it's also up to $2 million. The same thing for physical damage loans as well as economic injury as well. Clean places of worship. The deadline for Hurricane Beryl, it is September 10th, which is the same deadline for physical damage, same deadline as well as FEMA. And for economic injury, it is April 14th of next year. And also for the April 26th through June 5th, it's August 15th of this year. And next year, it's for February 18th for economic injuries, 2025 next year. There is mitigation funds up to 20% of your total damage. So it's really to prevent for future disasters, not shelter, anything that you need, like some pumps they can use. A lot of people, when you do apply, it's on the application. So either you uncheck the process and it'll help you out as far as mitigation. So yeah, I just wanted to mention you also can apply online on lending.sba.gov, or they can go to the Disaster Recovery Center, which is customer service representatives there to help you out. If you have already applied, you can ask reconsideration. You could just miss a document, just a simple, and you get that assistance of 101 over there, and also can apply over there. So it's Now the new hours are Monday through Saturday. And it's going to be 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I just want to let you know on that. And anybody can come as far as questions, and FEMA's are there as well. There's also relocation option on the loan. And if you are like in a flood zone area, you can utilize that option as well. So yeah, we cover deductibles, no closing cost on our end. And like I said, it's really to help out for everybody who needs that 101 and then other options available to them. So, and at the end of the day, the loan becomes an option when approved. So they're not, it's really their backup. So thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
NITIS. Thank you.
Item number 42, receive certified estimates and receive preliminary calculations of the no new revenue tax rate and voter approved tax rate from Walker County Appraisal District. Assessor submits the appraisal roll or certified estimates for the tax units showing total appraised, assessed, and taxable values of all the properties and the taxable value of all new properties.
Morning, Patricia.
Good morning. We have received the certified values from the appraisal district on the 25th. The in your packets, starting on page, the ones I handed out today, starting on page 75 is the certification letter from the appraisal district. And then also sent was the certified road, which is an extremely large document. It is out on the B drive. One thing you will note when you look at this is that the total on page 76 is the total of the certified values, and the net taxable value and freeze adjusted value. The total value this year is less than the total value last year. Stacy, were you able to join the meeting?
Do not see her on.
Okay, she did not think she'd be able to join the meeting. There were still hearings going on, but the numbers have been presented. This is what they are. She did a very preliminary calculation of the no new revenue rate, and it's 41.52, which is 0.25 higher than our current rate. So typically what we've seen in the past is that revenue calculation, the no new revenue rate would be less than the current tax rate because of the growth in values. She indicated that there is an option to calculate a disaster rate. But what that rate does, it does not affect the no new revenue rate, but it does make your voter approval rate higher, which is the rate you can go to without a tax hearing. So that's where we stand right now.
Okay.
So how much, I don't know, there's hundreds of pages here. How much of this is still under
Review.
arguing about? Or under what's the word?
Less than 5%, because she cannot certify until that at least 90% of the work is.
Wow.
During the current year, of course, there was the disaster loss of value related to the disaster. There was loss of value that was lost through court hearings, thus resulting in the increase in the no new revenue, which basically means to on the same property that was in the tax roll both years, it would take a 0.25 rate increase over and above what we have now.
Questions?
Not that I can't deal with in workshop.
All right,
We get started on questions. We're gonna.
okay. I'll go 43, discuss and take action to designate the Walker County Appraisal District to calculate the final no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate.
Yes, my recommendation is, of course, to have them calculate the rate. They're the ones with the most knowledge. They've done it for years. Again, you can calculate that, revenue, that no new, or that tax rates based on either the same way we've always calculated it or with the disaster calculation included. My recommendation would be to have her calculate it both ways and then bring that back to you at the next meeting. If court would like, we could have a special meeting next week just to receive those numbers, and then we'd have those numbers going into that August 12th rate when the proposed budget would be finalized to be filed.
I think that would be good. I don't know about that, y'all, but we probably do need to meet Monday.
So need a motion to that effect.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve agenda item 43, requesting Walker County Appraisal District calculate the final no new revenue tax rate and voter approval.
Second it.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried. 44, discuss and take action on applying for 2025 County Feral Hog Grant. This is just a grant they sent out. It's one page document. I'll fill it out. It gives us a little help if we get it to help with hog mitigation. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 45, discuss and take action on Texas Department of Motor Vehicle imposition of optimal fee calendar year 2025. My suggestion is option A. That's my motion. A.
That's what we've been doing.
That's what we've been doing.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 46, discuss and take action on plat number 2024-001, Gary Anthony Hilshire, 21.01 acre tract subdivision CV finger survey. Andy?
This was done before the court a couple of times. Variances have been. Final plat is back. Final approval of the plat. Move for final approval of the plat.
I'll second it.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 47, discuss and take action on Timothy and Jimmy Doyle request for variance to section B 2.2 of the Walker County subdivision regulations regarding lot depth to width for plat number 2024-2023.
I did talk to Jimmy and Andy, but I don't remember what she told me. She called me a couple of weeks ago, said this was coming.
Right, well, this track here, it doesn't conform to a standard flag lot because the flag, the staff itself is large enough for development. See what I'm saying? It does flag out a little bit, but because it didn't fully conform to our standard, I brought it before Commissioner's Court. They're requesting a variance for this depth to width. It is almost a 5 acre tract. It does have sufficient beyond the minimum frontage here, but it's not conforming to what the depth.
Yeah, I mean, you have any issues with it? I mean, not really.
Court doesn't.
Yeah.
Again, I brought it because.
And it's family, right? I mean, staying in family, so.
A little bit of a gray area and as far as the code goes, so I wanted it down for the court with a variance request.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Moving second, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 48, discuss and take action on plat number 2024-023. Timothy K. Doyle's 19.83 acre tract subdivision.
Any concerns on this part?
No, it is the same part of the piece like that.
Motion to approve.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Motion carried. 49, discuss and take action on Louis Munoz Hernandez request for variance to section 5 of the Walker County subdivision regulations regarding amending plats to be allowed to proceed under section 232.010 of the Texas Local Government Code for conveyance of portions of plotted lot via meets and bounds description for lots 22C of the Harmon Creek Ranchette subdivisions.
There was a division that took place. This lot took place under a previous owner. A couple decades back,
Like 91 or something like that.
yeah, and they're asking for court's approval for the sale of their portion of the lot by meets and bounds without going through the replanting process. They don't even own all portions of the lot. Court has granted these on occasion before. This was really their only other avenue. If court doesn't approve it this way, then they'll have to go get the other owners and bring a formal replat back to Commissioner's Court.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the motion to approve. Item 40.
Second.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. 50, discuss and take action on Tina Marie Garcia request for variance to section 5 of the Walker County subdivision regulations regarding amending plats to be allowed to proceed under section 232.010.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve agenda item number 50.
Similar situation.
Yeah.
Just discussed.
Good second. Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Bill,
Motion carries.
it's not picking on you. You have a lot of the older subdivisions.
51, discuss and take action on Gary Burke request for variance to section 5.02A of the floodplain management regulations of Walker County regarding lowest floor elevation requirements for property in Wildwood Shores.
Mr. Burke is here with us today. He was impacted by the May flood. Property, home that is constructed there. The previous owners, not Mr. Burke, but the previous owner had applied for a permit, never completed the permit. They were lacking their final elevation certificate. Mr. Burke completed the elevation certificate so that the permit could be finalized. The court has opened up, allowed us to finalize any existing open permits under this disaster. However, when the elevation came back, it was slightly below
0.14, I think.
Yeah, that's correct. Slightly below the requirement. Came in 207.86. The original permit was 208. You'll notice if you looked at the elevation certificate that the surveyor is on 208.9. That would be now with the current information. Back at that point, that was under the original first three sections of Wildwood Shores. At that point, the minimum finished floor recommendation, not base flood elevation recommendation, minimum finished floor recommendation was 208. Presumably, I don't have this in writing, but presumably this was in 2000. I think this was started in 2000. Presumably the inundation unit at 208, the inundation unit at 207 was used for the 1 foot freeboard to get to the 208.
What's the FEMA number?
The FEMA number now is 289, which we require 1 foot above that. So if he were to have to come in to comply with the current reg, you'd have to come up to 209. If you were trying to comply with the permit as originally applied for back in 2001, which is what this is about, court allows variance to that permit, not a new permit, then it would be, you would be that much below the 208, which is what the standard was at that point. There was an initial letter by the developer at 208, and then it was revised to 210, but it was about 4 or 5 years into it, further revised to 210. And this permit occurred during the gap between the first letter and the second.
But how old is this house, Andy?
And this is 2001. So it did flood during this flood, and so it would still be subject to substantial damage requirements of this flood. But he had about 1.5 foot of water in it during this last event. Of course, we had a couple foot of water in some houses built at 210 during this last event as well. Down the street from him. So that's what's before the Commissioners Court, is that amount of variance on the original permit.
Mark's here, right?
Yes, he's
You want to talk, you want to say anything? Say anything?
The only thing I'd like to add is that I've had that house since about 2008. During Ike, Tax Day, Memorial Day, Harvey, no water in the facility. And I think it really comes down to where it sits with regard to where East Sandy Creek comes into the subdivision there, that the further you are away from that entrance, the less water level you actually face when you have events. But during any previous event, there's never been water in the house at all.
So Andy, at the time though, they built the house be at 208, right?
They were supposed to build the house at 208 at the time. That's
Okay.
what the original
But
permit.
by the time it got certified,
Well, by now,
it's settled to this 207.86.
or maybe it was built there. It's really for me to know.
But I mean, what I'm getting at is the house was built 2000 and
Could have.
so,
I'm not
I mean,
saying
you
it's
take
impossible.
in consideration.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's
settling and-
impossible. It
Yeah,
could have been
yeah.
settling. It
Yeah.
is on the river and that lot has had inundation on it before, just not in the home.
Right.
I would not say that's outside the bounds of possibility.
No, he's right there anyway.
I'm not a structural engineer.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes it a little more justifiable.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
So my motion is gonna be to approve the variance request, section 502, all the rest left in there.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried.
Yes, sir.
52, discuss and take action on Lee Killingworth request to reopen permit number 2021-0541 for Elvis Shepherd on whatever road to replace the collapsed tank installed on 10/26/2021.
I don't see. The request is.
Teaches.
The teachers.
Yeah.
Different.
I think it's catechist.
No.
See, that's why I
It's
just
teaches.
it.
You did the right.
My precinct.
I'm gonna go over this.
Education.
So this request is, it's a little bit of an odd one. We don't see these very often. What happened was a couple of years back, wastewater system installed with an aerobic system, fiberglass unit that was put in, it has collapsed. He is seeking to replace it. I think he has managed to get a warranty extension from the manufacturer. He's seeking to pull the old tank, replace it in the exact same position, not changing the planning material so that the new system, the new tank will go in exactly where the old tank is.
Yeah.
Not requiring change in design. It will make sure that any codes adopted since the original application was approved, which is fairly minor, are met. He's seeking to do it without, with basically an extension of the old permit.
Yeah.
To open up the old permit file. This is pretty rare that we have something like this happen within the initial 2 years.
Why is this not maintenance?
But because anytime you replace a tank, you can replace lids and solid lines under TCP as emergency repair and maintenance. Or pumps and those kind of things. But if you replace a tank, TCP requires a permit. So I have to attach this replacement to a permit. So we could do a new permit and re-permit the whole thing from scratch, in which case it's a $600 fee to the county. What he's requesting is that we do this under the old permit and just do a re-inspection fee. That we would do like we're going just out for a re-inspection. That's the request before the board. It will keep us from having to create a new permit file for essentially the same system.
We've done one of these before.
Like this, very rare.
It's weird, but
We probably have done one before, but it's very rare.
it's an odd situation where the company extended its warranty and replaced the tank and Lee's gonna warranty the labor part of it. He's gonna do that himself. And so
I have done them, to answer your question, I have done these as new permits where they've replaced, but usually they'll move stuff. They don't put it right back in the, so they have to have new design done, new review, all that before we can do it. So
Well,
I've done them as new permits.
Yeah, most time it doesn't fall under warranty either. I mean, this is.
Yeah, this is extremely, I haven't come up with these situations very often.
I'm gonna make the motion to approve agenda item 52, charging only the $125 section. Reopening the.
Moving seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. 53, discuss and take action on Sharon LeBlanc request for variance to on-site service facility regulations of Walker County permit application 2024-0242.
Okay, as you probably have already seen in the variance, they are looking to add an additional structure. They had, in their mind, sort of over-designed the original system when they put it in. Anticipation, hopes of what they do, exactly what they're doing now. The existing system is 800 gallons per day treatment. The state code requires 840 gallons per day of treatment minimum on the treatment side, unless you have a dosing tank out in front of the system. So a dosing tank catches the wastewater, puts them there at equal intervals, so they allow you to use a lower. You do it that way, it makes the tank essentially function better. They're requesting to use the 800 gallons per day without the dosing tank. That is not in the rule. We would have to require the 840. There was no way for my commission. You've got his justification behind you. So what he's looking at, thinks there may be some issues with the system under the and the rules don't have a maximum treatment. The only thing that I'm getting real aware of, there's been major issues with systems being underfed is when they're like not used for. So like school districts, for example, who are not using their systems in the summer will often have somebody feed the system. They keep the bacteria alive so that when the kids get it.
So the 840, that's the state number?
Yes. So the state has a chart, the number of bedrooms and houses and how much treatment capacity that you have to have per house.
So how do we variance away from a state rate?
Well, I mean, you're carefully,
Yeah.
you're the board for variance for the state. The state never grants their own variances. So if somebody wants a variance to any of the state rules, this is the place where they come. So it's their responsibility to justify the variance to you.
Yeah, and that's government's paper.
Responsibility to review it. And take action. I can't find a way in the rules to do this outside of placing an additional dosing tank, which is obviously expensive. Right?
Yeah.
In the old rules, I will say, in the old rules, we used a different capacity. We had a gallons per day for each structure for disposal and treatment of the actual gallons of wastewater we thought the structure was going to produce. They switched it and they required larger volumes in the treatment than they do in the disposal area. When they switched it, that's when these minimums came into place. And they're based on number of bedrooms, the number of square foot per house. They do look at the houses as totally separate dwellings. So there's always a little gray whenever you have multiple houses on the same property as far as use. We just have no real control over use.
Well, we got his name and his staff saying he thinks it'll go. That's what he said.
Only plus to it, I guess, is it is a small house, huh? 1,200 square foot.
So if you wanted to place some additional requirement because you had some concern about it, one of the things we do in commercial systems and multifamily is they have a TSS done once a year. Because this is a multi-unit system, that requirement would then give some feedback as far as if it was, treatment. But that's all we got.
Yeah, but
There needs to be some kind of stipulations put in there, because I mean, if not saying that they would do it, but you drop another 4-bedroom house, now you're gonna overload the system.
Yeah, that's one thing we've talked about before, and maybe we'll talk about it at another meeting, but we talk about when people come in asking variance away from the rules, some sort of a follow-up, that we require like maybe this guy show up in 6 months and issue us another report. Back, hey, I went out there, a grab sample of how I'm gonna catch the sprinkler water and go check it for BOD.
Yeah, and that's what they do for the TSS.
Yeah, so that's just a snapshot of that person. But somebody can go out there and look on the ground and, hey, you got, cattails 9 feet high. We got some problems here, or it looks good. So that may be something we bring back for a conversation in the future.
This is going to convert to a multi-unit residential permit, so they will have that additional requirement built in, but again, it doesn't meet the code.
Yeah.
Who monitors that? The TSS BOD is monitored by the maintenance company, and they submit a copy both to the owner and the county.
And you monitor the ones coming from the county?
Yes.
Where is this at? What road is it?
It's on Garvey. Where is that one? I don't even know.
Oh, it's probably Garvey, that's mine.
Rain, y'all wanna talk?
Oh, I looked at
It's just a 500 square foot house. We're adding, the system's built for another 4. We're not putting anything else on it. That's fine. We can check it in 6 months or whatever. I don't care. We can do that restriction. There's not gonna be an issue of putting 1,300 square foot and another 4 bedroom. Obviously, we'd overload the system, so. Commissioners don't want to have someone look at it.
Yeah,
It's much better.
I think we gotta. What's your name? Didn't he sign off on it anyway? Catabon or whatever.
Everybody signed off on it.
Yeah, he signed off
I
on
mean,
the
if he
letter.
signed off on it, that's pretty well all I need. He's the guy I'd be looking to anyway.
Yeah.
So,
What's your motion?
y'all got any question? I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Moving second, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
I didn't know you was hanging around for us.
Nah, I just. Banner and show up.
All right.
Oh, now we'll go to the workshop.
Oh, right here.
We've got a nice 6 minute meeting.
Yeah. Could have been more, you know. Bill was almost out of control a couple
Was
times.
it?
Yeah.
I only had one question.
Well, that went pretty smooth. 52.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bill?
He's your chief, is he a chief prosecutor or something?
No, he went to district court.
We're going, Leslie.
Bill-
Leave.
Bill thinks-
It's all good, Leslie. Yeah, y'all might want to talk about court reporters. Hey, we received the order. I didn't vote for it.
I will just say that is how it's been. I look, because I got that wording.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't have to receive
It's
it.
been like it ever.
Yeah.
I didn't want it.
You can. Is it called like that? If it's on the consent, they don't have to approve it, right?
Well, what the statute says is that it's filed with the commissioners.
File.
Statute said you gonna.
That's on you, Carrie. You file
Pretty much, I mean, it's filed, the district clerk holds the public hearing and then they vote, they sign the orders and then it's filed in per minutes and blah, blah.
In other words, they
There's
just
one
cram
more
it,
vote it
they
would
cram
have.
it down our throat, right?
You had one more vote, they put it back up front.
I just soon settle it upstairs.
Maybe next year.
You weren't brave enough this year.
Just for update, y'all, Dan hired again. He starts in.
Oh, Dan did?
Good.
Lord help us. Man, we're doing good then.
And way under budget.
You should have market and see if you stay.
The guy asked for 48.
Really?
I do.
Don't be worse crap, he'd move him up and put a hole in there.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I was enjoying my COVID, the house that week.
Yeah. Really? I had one guy had it too. He wasn't real happy about it either.
Yeah, I had it, Lucy had it.
Hmm.
We're blaming each other for bringing it. We don't.
Yeah,
What'd
don't,
y'all have?
they had the COVID. I had one out
I
with.
didn't know that stuff was real.
Yeah.
Man, that
It's
stuff
just
don't need.
glorified flu.
It's really not, we don't have COVID anymore. I mean, we got
Yeah, it really wasn't,
sneezes.
it really wasn't much of a glorified flu. It was just that little cough and that like, because she got it too. She's like, we need to get tested. So we're like,
Sure enough. Huh?
sure enough, there it was.
Oh, Bob had it. He had it also last week.
Really?
Somebody else had it.
Oh, somebody else said they had it. I don't remember what it was now.
Kind of bouncing around down there.
I don't run my head so much. I wouldn't tell y'all if I had it anyway.
That is true.
I'd sit right here and not even tell you. I got a sneeze.
What you got?
Allergies.
Okay, you've got.
Yeah, we're still good.
Uh, Okay, you have a new packet today, which is summary pages for all the funds on the county. The first page, page 1 and 2, is based on all the discussions today and what I've read to be the consensus. This summarizes the budget. The budget last year for expenditures was 47,581,591. At the last number on the page under expenditures for this year, that number would be 50,632,000. If we go to page 3, this is the list of all the supplemental requests that court has talked about to date. So the first one on the list, 2 columns, one for one type one. So the first one under countywide is the 2% increase plus the full CSC. For general fund is 521,000. Maintaining the benefit plan, 62,645. So I guess my question is, do you want me to read and let's go through these one at a time, just for the final look through?
I do have one question, Mr. Fisher.
Okay.
Before we get too far into this. On the retirees, that they were figured in or not?
For the increased salary?
For the increase.
The retirees?
Yeah, don't we usually do
Oh, on the, that's part of the retirement plan.
yeah, it
And
was,
so there was a COLA for the retirees included in that, the same COLA that you've been doing in past years.
okay, I've been meaning to ask and I just keep forgetting, so, okay.
Yeah,
That was-
Papa calling.
Yeah, I don't need too many phone calls, on the other side of that.
Papa gonna call.
Yeah.
Tricia, in the first one on the countywide, I had thought that we had done 5,000 for a time to read. I don't see that in here.
And done what?
5,000 for a time to read.
We were gonna pay for that out of the,
One time.
That's right. Small
the-
business thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. I'll scratch that out.
There is a difference if you'll look down under the $119,000 figure, the 36,000 figure, the 8,000 figure, Rita B. Huff, Humane, the newer assistance program. They were late getting in.
That'd be nice.
this and that.
Yeah, that would be good.
The $8,000 figure is a new figure you've not seen before. Rita B. Huff, sent in a request.
You got it.
Oh, everybody's got it. They're requesting an additional for the 8,000. They're running out of money before the end of the year. So that is a number you've not seen.
Is that, we just talked about that 10,000 for safe house.
Uh-huh.
We can put that with the same place, the rise to read on the small business,
Okay.
what's it called? Leftover fund, unclaimed?
Okay.
If y'all are good with that.
I'm fine with it.
So back on the Humane Society deal, I mean, are they giving us some kind of, is it just, I get calls all the time, and I know y'all do too, on them turning people away.
That's the spay and neuter program that you're looking at here, right?
Yeah, so this is different, this is. on the
Yeah,
spay
that's
and neuter
not the
program.
other
Okay.
part, and they do turn them away. I know that for a fact because they turn people away like we see all the time.
Yeah, I get
Um,
phone calls, not all the time, but every now and then, you know.
and if they turn them away, they just turn them loose on Robinson Creek or Darrell White Road, and I still have to deal with them.
Okay, this is on the new program. All right.
That currently would be in the budget at the same amount that's being paid.
Yeah.
So if we move to 10,
Yeah,
we can find the Rita V. Huff without really.
yeah, yeah, take the safe house out and we'll pay that on the other.
All right, and then going down the list, I'm sure y'all
Well,
recognize.
that would
all of
just-
these. Let's, the 15, we'll talk about the reclassifications, 15050, the county clerk, 3141.
The county clerk went on page
Anything in
62
this?
is not correct, but we
That's
can
what I
come back to that.
It's already in here.
The way
Right
that
above the
it's
10.
on page 62 is not right.
8,000.
All right, when we get there.
When we get there.
Tell me. Okay, so county clerk, 3141. Are you saying that's out of a specialty fund?
No,
Okay, all right, that's all I need to know at this point. Then under the maintenance, the part-time to full-time, central cost, we've talked about that. County auditor, this number is showing up for the first time, going from the 3 to the 4, that's 3594. Purchaser 3 was already there. County court at law, court reporter, that would be 2,900. the court reporter in the 12-1433. Rest were there, and the court reporter in the 278-2342. Thinking all these others are identical. And then going over to page 4.
We just added, I'm sorry,
Okay, no, go ahead.
we just added 5 line items today. And I know that's what Wayne was on his soapbox about earlier, and I get it, but we just added 5 items right here. These are the ones, right? The 3594 to 4500, 2900, 1433, and 2342. This is the first time
The
we've seen it.
4,500 is not new. 3594 is new. And the court reporters are new, and then we will have another new over at EMS, but right now, those are the new ones. Going to page 2, and I guess I was clairvoyant, but under constable, that replacement was changed to replacement vehicle. I think what he was requesting today was one for the current year. And everything else, I think, has been discussed.
Now, his vehicle, I think those were, those were they were the
Previous budget.
Yeah, what he was
Yeah.
requesting today
Yeah.
is to be able to have a generic vehicle.
Yeah.
And it is a generic vehicle in next year's
Right,
budget.
and this one we're working on, it's already vehicles.
Now, the general fund budget, as it's presented now, is presented with a 0.5 cent increase over the NNR. Right.
Okay. Yeah, the
And then if
general
we
fund
go
is-
to road and bridge, the same thing we've been talking about, the 2 plus 60, the cost there is showing the amount for the operations increase. Then the EMS fund, the 2% plus the 460 is 116 for all employees. And I think everything else has been discussed. A number has been put to the request to increase the paramedics and the district chiefs to $3 an hour.
I would like to visit on that a little bit, Miss Patricia, when you get done.
Whenever, it's y'all's time.
Do it now. Go ahead.
So I've given this a lot of thought. And, I don't back up much, crawfish, whatever, but in this grand scheme of things, we got 400 employees. 50 of them, or 53 or whatever. And I just don't know that I can.
33.
33 people.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's just throwing a number.
yeah. I mean, we've got 53 employees through EMS, the whole.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, granted, some of them are getting the 2% and the others, I'm not gonna argue they don't need the money. But I just trying to keep it consistent with the rest of the county and making it fair. I've done a lot of thinking about it and reading and I can't support it this time. Back in 21, we $3. And then we done a salary study. And that should have brought us up everywhere where we trying to get. And I just, what keeps coming back to me is just like this deal with not to bring up the judge's deal again.
Go ahead.
But wait until the last.
I'm on my soapbox with the
Yeah,
judges.
wait until the last minute to bring this stuff to us, She put in a lot of stuff in her budget and obviously she needs most of it. But this was not there. And to bring it up at the last minute, I can't support it, I guess is my take on it. And I know there was 3 of us that kind of moved forward with it, but it needs to be a consensus. We're spending $8,000 just on this part. And we're tearing up our salary study is my deal with it.
At the end of the day, the final benchmark is, can you fill your spots with your salaries?
Yeah.
And they can't. I mean, she had 2 leave, and that's why she came here and was like, look, I'm already down 3 or 4, and I had 2 more leave.
It's just paramedics, right?
They're just
The
paramedics.
EMTs are not a problem.
You
Yeah.
can hire the lower case people, the entry people will come here. The paramedics aren't coming here. So if you say we aren't going to get you to a salary where you're at least competitive, I mean, you're not even close to the other people, but you're swapping lifestyle, workload and stuff like that for the other $4 or $5 an hour that we can't compete with downstairs or around us. You can't just tell them we're not going to pay your people. Good luck with your department. You got to have something for them.
But who we were compared to was Montgomery County and Harris County.
Well, that's where they're going.
I understand that.
Well,
Well, we
but-
could have all done that, Bill. I mean, we've had this discussion 1,000 times. Anybody could
But-
leave and go south and make more
They
money.
can, but if Walker County, if you post a job application here, a job opening here, most of the time, and we have some unique positions, but most of the time you get applicants for those jobs. They don't here. Or when they come here, they boogie as soon as they can to someplace
Yeah.
else. So now the places around us, those are contract ambulances. So they work someplace else. And then they fill shifts in these places around here. So it's, if you're gonna compare, you have to compare to another FTE, another full-time employee organization, which is Montgomery County, which is Harris County. And if you don't, like I said, if you don't pay them, you can't just tell your EMS people.
Well, it depends on what level of care we want to have here in the county, basically, what it comes down to,
Yeah, I want,
you know,
Ever.
we want
Well,
to
the service goes to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you take an employee that is making $70,000 and that's what her paramedics come in. You're talking about the difference between a $10,000 raise versus a $1,400 raise on a normal employee.
Mhm.
That is also a first responder, you know, some of them, not all of them. But a $70,000 employee that is a first responder is $1,400. And we're jumping this to 10,000. I've got it if you want to look at it.
they're getting $3 an hour is about $7,000.
And you add the benefits to it.
Well, we're gonna add the
Well,
benefits.
the main difference that you add, it's not just a straight $3 an hour.
Yeah.
Times 2,000.
Because some of that is overtime too.
Because they have so many overtime hours in there. The actual difference, not including, the benefits, is about $8,800.
You're taking a $45,000 job that by the time you add the schedule to it, it's a $70,000 job. I mean, that's their job. I mean, it's overtime, but it's what they work. It's a shift.
Mhm.
And same thing in everything else, you know, I mean, in other departments. And I hate it. I really do. You know, when you go back and look, out of the 53 employees, we only have 14 that are actually Huntsville residents. So they're already coming from somewhere else to here. You know, some of them from a pretty good ways away.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with like the SO. I mean,
Yeah.
they travel everywhere.
And it's been like that forever. And I get it, you know, I mean, yes, do we need to give them more money? Absolutely. But it's not just them. You know, if you're gonna do it, you do it all. That's the whole reason for us doing the salary stuff. And
And the salary study, I mean, they brought comparable positions. So they reached out to the surrounding departments that we would have compared to as our salary study and brought that and said, look, we're $5-6 an hour. And they're getting ready to put 4 or 5% on top of that in those 2 places. They're getting ready to go up down there. So we're gonna fall farther behind. So
Yeah, every time we catch up,
we stop.
then they just raise theirs again and then.
well, we're always gonna be behind Montgomery County. We're always gonna be behind Harris County.
Yeah, but you can't fall so far behind that you can't fulfill your mission that you commit to whether we raised our hand and said, we'll take EMS, which we
Yeah.
didn't, or we just showed up here.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, it's
It's here,
choice you
but
take.
there's a service level or a people, you know, what do you want to tell your people?
Yeah.
Well, all we can do is put EMTs on our ambulances. We'll come pick you up and tote you somewhere. It's all we're allowed to do. We can't do anything other than that. That's not what people want to hear.
Well, then if that's the case, Bill, then that should have been the top of the list. at budget.
What you, and I don't, I mean, I didn't.
And I'm not knocking that.
No, but I heard
that's
it right.
her choices.
Yeah, and I heard
You
it when
know?
y'all heard it. I didn't
Yeah.
know about the
Yeah.
other stuff,
Well,
but
and like I said, that's her choice. That was the priority level. And I get it, you know, and I ain't saying next year I wouldn't be 100% for it, but to come a month into budget and sit down and holler, I need 300 something $1,000. I just, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I'd love to go with it, but I'd also love to give everybody else more money too. And it's not gonna happen this time. I mean, Patricia pretty well broke our plate this morning,
well, we did.
you know? With them evaluations.
All your fault, Patricia.
Well, oh, we'll blame it on Stacy.
You know.
How's that?
I don't like it either. Honestly, I do not like it, but being the oldest on court and needing an ambulance more than now too.
To the hospital.
Yeah, you the closest one.
It cost me $503 the last time I got one of Walker County ambulances. Yeah, and I was a county employee the day I rode.
You would have paid 1,000, we'd have been in a little better shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Every, you know, every department that has.
My constable's probably older than I am back there. I don't know how old Gene is, but
I think that, that EMS, they are having trouble hiring, paramedics, which is the people that are they're the first responders that are working with the doctors and whatnot. In what we have in the budget now is basically that added roughly a half cent to the tax rate. And now we know that the NNR is more than the current rate, so this is being added to a rate. The effect on the taxpayer, when you average all out, it's the same 2.5 cents that was being discussed earlier.
Yeah.
The difference would be, one, is this something the court, consensus of the court is you want to hold off on doing the raise consideration to next year, or do you want to hold off on funding it through the tax rate through next year, or if you want to stay where you are now? So
I don't really want to pass anything to next year. I think we need to get out of that.
Yeah, it's not a good habit.
You know,
So I think, you know, finish the discussion and then take a consensus as what the court wants to do on this side.
Yeah, and I think the second part is the important part. If you say we're not gonna do it, you've got to be able to tell them, this is what we are gonna do. And if it's just cross your fingers and hope you get some people,
Yeah.
that's not a good input. The input.
Well,
has to
you take 2% just like everybody else and the
Now, that being said, they're not getting 2% plus
No,
that,
no, I know.
plus that. So
exactly.
They're just
Yes,
getting
they're just getting the $3.
$2.54 is what it is. It's two, I think that's what the number.
So you,
well, I think what you'll see if we don't give it to them, we're gonna have to fill it with EMTs. Be done with it.
Yeah, and that's
You know,
not.
I mean, just transport's all we're gonna do.
Yeah, when you. show
That's
up-
what I personally think.
Yeah, and if you show up to a heart attack guy, that's not what you want. You don't want those guys there. So. I think it's a cost of doing business. And
Oh, you know, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either.
You know?
I don't like it either.
Bill, you next on line in the court, you know, you're in your mid-60s, right?
you know, anyhow.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, so.
It's just what level of care do you want? I mean, that's where it's at. So, I mean, we can come back to this later if you want to and just let Patricia go on.
I'm fine to stay here as long as you want to, or we can go and come back. Y'all tell me.
Let's just go and come back, Patricia. Because it's
Brandon,
Brandon.
hold on. Brandon, what'd you got? Hold on, Miss Allen.
Brandon, go ahead. We haven't spoken.
Well, I look at both sides. I understand I want the best care I can get. I want the paramedics. I don't want just the basics coming to me because my family and everything else. I truly get that. But I also think about, we paid a whole lot of money for a salary study. I'm with Danny at some point, we paid for that study. We're not even gonna look at it, and why the hell we pay the money for it? First of all, now, so I see both sides of the deal.
And I see both sides too, Brendan, and don't get me wrong, but when it comes to isolated situations, I think we have to deal with that. That's our job.
Yeah, because we've done on Well, this year well, today, we did 4 or 5.
Y'all did.
It sure did.
So of course, it's the Queen's way. It's the Queen's way, so we is we.
That's why I said this would come back around, you know?
It does. I mean, we did some, I mean, how many times have we gone back to the salary study and said, hey, we want to review these in the last year or two? I know, like, none, 0. They come here. So it's okay. And maybe next year when we do it, we say, hey, salary study people, let's try again. But once again, I'll say again, EMS brought their salary. They brought the exact same information the salary study would have brought. Who are you losing your people to? Who is your competition and what are they paying? And that's what they brought us. It's not like they just showed up and pulled a number out of the air. They said, you know, to be competitive, to be the same, it's $6 or $7. Now we know we can't do that.
We went through this with the sheriff, what, 3 or 4 years
Yeah,
ago? too. I mean, that was 3 cents to
21.
help with
3
that,
cents.
and we're already behind on them, you know?
Well, we done it
But-
and EMS. That's when we give them the $3 and the dollar and a quarter. Sometime we done it in the sheriff's department. And it was much needed. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing this, but I'm having
Yeah.
trouble coming around.
I understand
You
your
know?
point 100%.
But it's not a hard, I'm using the term sell. It's not a hard thing to sell. If you tell somebody, we had to go up a half a cent because we had the choice between having an all EMT emergency medical service or a paramedic dominant emergency medical service. It cost you a half cent, which on $100,000 house is $5 a month or something like
Who
that.
lives in $100,000 house?
Well, $200,000 house, $300,000 house. It's not much, but if you tell them, you know, it costs you $100 a year, but we got paramedics instead of EMTs coming to your house. I don't think you get a single.
Well, I get it, and I'm not so much worried about that, honestly, is just what is the domino effect? You know, I mean, it's gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen. We've seen it happen in 21 with the sheriff's department and EMS. I mean, one come in, the second one come in, and by rights, that's fine. You know, that's the way it ought to be.
Yeah.
But you gotta be prepared for the other side of this too.
Sure you do. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can't just point a finger and say, hey, I want this first responder to have this and not bring it in the door.
Oh, I don't discredit that at all.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's gonna be here. If it's this year, next year, I don't know, you know, but.
I disagree with you, but I'm 68.
Yeah. But you're a mile from the hospital.
But y'all charge me so much to get there. I can imagine what that 503 is.
Yeah, come for 20 miles, we'll see you.
One more number on EMS I want to point out. This is
Oh, yeah.
not a Rachel number. This is a number that I put here. And that was the contingency increase for $60,000. This is just to increase our $200,000 transfer from last year, add 60,000 to it this year, basically just for things that weren't covered in the other requests. In particular, as our EMS revenues go up, the percentage that we need to pay for that contract will go up. So this would be money there if that happens, or if we have a lot of vehicle repairs or just some different things. So I do think it would be wise to put some additional money in that contingency, and that would be funded from the fund balance in EMS if it were needed.
Where is that, the 60, Ms. Patricia?
60.
The 60,
Why is that not every one time?
it could be
That was my question.
done deal. Well, no,
Well,
y'all decide.
well, I mean, because, I don't know. In all reality though, thinking back, I mean, you know, she's pretty, I mean, she's used almost all of her medical supplies money, you know, and she's gonna have to upgrade 2 new ambulances.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you're gonna spend some money. I don't know. Oh,
And we do have money in contingency for that, the 55,000.
see, that's what.
We have
Below it.
the 60,000 if you approve it. We have 55 as medical supplies in contingency. And then the uniforms, we had 20,000 in contingency for uniforms. So those are really earmarked for certain things. The 60 would basically be
An
in
increase.
general and not earmarked at this point for anything.
Well, and you consider too, I mean, I brought it up, she put anything in there for an increase in fuel. You know, you're adding more ambulances or replacing them, I guess, but you know, hopefully we'll have more on the street.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's gonna add up too, so.
We're basically adding
And
one for
each-
sure.
Yeah, so I don't know that you
Yeah.
probably don't need.
Anything that has the word contingency in front of it comes back to court before it's spent. So court would have the final say.
I mean, it's gonna be reoccurring anyway, most likely, so I'd hate to take it and put it in one time, I personally, and then,
Next year.
and then have to put it in next year, but, you know,
Yeah, I think having our operating contingency as part of the ongoing, but not funded in the tax rate would be what I would recommend for this year. And then if we see we actually spend all that, then we may want to look at that different next year. Okay. All right, then, looking at the projects fund, 494,990. This is our Fund 105. This is expected interest next year plus interest we earn during the current year. Money would go into the project's contingency. And then in our general capital projects fund, the 260 is the estimated amount of the interest for this year. Debt service would increase by 4,400. The legislative funds, a decrease of 57,860. And then our total of all funds. And then a graphic at the bottom showing last year's budget, what came out, what went in. All right, general fund, we go to page 7. And you have up there, second number in the far right column, our revenues at our tax revenues at our current rate, approximately 19,607. The new revenue and the half-cent less the 200 that goes to road and bridge. Those three numbers are there, and then everything else is moved into the budget that we just talked about on that previous page. And if we skip over to page 23, basically the same thing for road and bridge. The revenue, same as this year, would be 4782, and then adding the 200,000 from the new road here. Page 27, our debt service fund, showing our beginning balance and the fund balance, showing the expected revenues, the budget. Page 33, our EMS fund, everything that was included on that supplemental list, basically here, showing at the top, bottom right column, the second number, the 1,995,000 would be at the current rate taxes. The 1,164,000 would be the 2 cents that are included here over and above the NNR rate. Go to page 37 for Healthy County. Far right column showing interest earnings and budget at the same level as in the past. Okay. Page 39 is begins the legislative fund, and it shows you each of the funds that are part of that grouping. And of course, what a legislative fund is where fees are authorized by court, but the fees must be spent only for certain things. So this is the group of accounts that houses those. Most of these, well, all of them are basically under or assigned to the different. You can see the elected official types that basically control or recommend the budget and what would come out of these funds. Some of them require court to approve them. Some of them are a little more stringent as to or a little more open as to what the department can do without, court approval. So several pages, a page for each legislative fund, and as part of that, it shows the statutory reference for how much is charged in the fees, on what cases, and then it also describes what is the only purpose that money can be used for. So then we get over to page 57. This is our insurance retiree fund. Several years ago, county began accumulating money for what the cost would be in the future. So this fund has starting the year about 2,230,000, projecting interest earnings and ending up with about 2.3 million at the end of the year. Next section.
Are we drawing off of that fund on the retired employees now
We are not.
or not?
We are not.
Our retired employees, how do we pay for their health care?
They're budgeted in the central cost fund.
So why did we set this aside?
This is aside because of the potential liability and the increases that you may expect, say 10 years from now.
When you have a large sum retire at one time, we're gonna be in trouble. If you don't have this fund.
How many do we have that's eligible for that? Because I know we changed the rule.
I don't know the exact count. I can send you a list of who's on that list. Basically, anybody that was hired before
2013.
October of
13.
October of 13, that's still working for that is still employed by the county. Okay. Because when these people retire, or us people, retire.
I'll throw us in there too.
When us people retire, of course, the replacement will you'll be paying insurance on that person, but you'll also start, as time goes on, the further we get to the end of that 20-year period, the higher the rates are getting, and once you keep paying for them for the rest of the life, the higher the rates are going to get. So it was just taking care of the future fund.
Would it be prudent for the court to see how many retirees are currently in the centralized budget? How many employees are potentially eligible for this, to see if they need all the 2.3 million for the expected? Because I remember at the time that this was created, there was discussion about attrition, people who leave, people who don't stay for the full 20. I remember saying in that committee meeting, I'll never get this benefit because I have to be 74 to get it. And yet I'm still here.
Because people who expect to be here to draw it, a lot of them aren't. And people who didn't think they would ever make it will.
Well, and if they
I'm
had
not
funded,
gonna make it, but I'm telling you.
you're getting closer though, Quentin.
Yeah. There's a lot of-
Then you might actually make it.
A lot closer than I thought it would be. I guess what I'm saying is that yes, there are people who are actually currently employed who are eligible for this the day they retire. And there are some like me who haven't triggered the 20 years.
I can give you that number. It's approximately 200,000. That's currently in the budget.
That we're already paying about 200,000 for retirees current.
No,
current
that
retirees.
there's about 200,000 in the budget for people that will retire in the future.
So that's where this fund's building.
Well, and if they had implemented this when they started this,
You could have kept it.
then we could have kept that benefit going. But in 13, they couldn't fund, they had to quit it because it was going backwards.
Yeah.
And how this fund got to
Fund it
this
for
balance
the-
for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Interest earnings over the years. Originally, we were putting about 80,000 a year, and then we started budgeting for the retirees, and then the money would get transferred over here. Now, and the policy, and I think it's part of the financial policies, and we can review this when we go there. What's happening now, we said we were going to get the fund up to 2 million. We did. And now it's just accumulating interest. There's no reason the court could not take this accumulated interest and budget it in the general fund as an alternate source of revenue. There's a lot of things that could be done.
As long as you don't mess with them.
I was just asking questions. I wasn't wanting to get your money out of there.
It's your money too, remember?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm at that 20-year mark. I'm there.
Yeah, and certainly there is nothing that says now that we're budgeting for the retirees, there's nothing that says this 2 million can't be diverted to a projects fund.
LA precinct two.
As a one-time, there's nothing.
Yeah, as a one time to precinct two.
Yeah, there's nothing that says this money can't be transferred to the road bridge.
How often do we do like the actuarial, like Quentin's talking about, as far as somebody looking at our, doing like you said, how many are on it, how many are coming up? And
We're required
How
to do
many have
it
already,
every year.
how many of them have already gone away and are not going?
We're down, the last time I checked, we're down to about 100 employees. Or to 90 to 100 employees who either are eligible or have the potential to be eligible at some point in the future. And I don't know how many current retirees we're funding out of Central.
Out of 100% out of.
No, but I mean, how many numbers?
How many people it is?
Yeah, I can, next week when we come back, I'll have that report. If I can get my computer to come up, I can show
Well,
you.
that'd be some good information. We ain't looked at it in a long time.
yeah, it would be,
No, it's not been, reviewed in a while.
when they turn like, let's say like Ronnie, people who are north of 65.
Yeah, you got two of them in here.
That wasn't very nice, was it, Quentin?
And I wasn't counting with.
Well, I just turned 60, so I can see it. It's right there.
We don't judge how far north.
That's exactly. So I'm gonna use you for an example if I can.
Go ahead, you're just gonna do it anyway.
So Ronnie, he's still primary county insurance, I'm assuming, and Medicare, I'm assuming he's signed, I don't know if you haven't told yes or
Now,
no.
if you're working, you're not covered by Medicare.
That becomes a secondary.
No.
Nothing at all.
You just ignore it.
You only have to apply for Medicare Part A if you also apply for your Social Security benefit.
Right. But it doesn't. Yeah.
But that isn't costing.
Yeah, your county insurance is your primary insurance.
Yes,
Right.
as long as you're working.
As long as you're.
Right, as long as you're working. So I mean, so you, and I maybe have to look that one up because maybe not talk about it right now, but it seems like once you're 65, you file for Social Security, 67 for me.
I think you're getting old, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it falls in as a secondary.
Once you're 62 actually or older, you can apply for Medicare to get your Medicare check.
Yeah.
Right.
Social Security.
And then at that time, you make a decision. Do you want to pay for Part B?
Right.
Okay. So, and I'll give you my example. Because I'm still working, my primary insurance is Walker County.
Right.
I can apply for Medicare, get a Medicare check, not apply for Part B because it wouldn't do me any good because I'm covered by Walker County insurance.
So once you retire, the county, do we fund like just like a Medicare supplement policy and get them out, but we don't.
Basically, the county provides a policy for its retirees as the Part B.
It's Part B kind of a deal.
Coverage. But you must be paying for Medicare Part B coverage at the same time.
Okay.
The county's
Secondary.
Medicare supplement is covered by county. You must pay for your Medicare Part B.
All right, so you could bring some to kind of next week and show us kind of.
Oh, yeah, I can
kind
give
of a
you
picture.
Yeah.
I've read an actuary, it's a lot of words and not a lot of pictures. I don't much like it.
I think it would be best not to have the names on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anybody
Just
that's
numbers.
eligible are going to be eligible to retire is budgeted in the central budget right now. And this 2 million is setting over the side, just growing interest sitting there.
You're not saying we don't need it there though, right?
One of those pots.
You're not saying that we don't need it.
I'm not saying we don't need it there, but I'm saying as long as there is a commitment that it's gonna be built into the tax rate every year. It took us a long time to get to the point where it's built into the tax rate. Now that it's built in the tax rate, I think the 2 million is much less important to be there. It was more important when the county was going through that.
That transition time.
Yes, I think that, I think it certainly would be something for court to think about whether or not they want it there or not to, as a cushion against any future high rate increases, or if they're willing to, just realize that as that rate increases, they'll need to increase.
I figured.
Yeah, so
We can get Colt vote with us.
So, I think it's certainly would be consideration.
I'm trying to
The
get,
other side's really looking at me now.
I'm trying to get it split between 1 and 2. I live out in 2, you know.
I know you do. That's kind of why I was thinking.
I got a little tape recorder somewhere.
Let me move this way.
I should hear some humps over
I got a little tape recorder with the judge saying I don't do roads.
I don't do roads, but I drive down them.
Okay, on page 59, the personnel section. This is the salary group ranges, and anything in red is what is a change. So first page, no change. Personnel page 2, our page 60 in our group, you'll see, pay grade 110. The assistant purchaser 3 came out of 110 and moved to pay grade 111. Then if we go to, and that's the only change on the pay grade system. And if you'll look at the minimum salary, the market salary, and the maximum salary on every page, minimum salary was increased by 2%. Market salary was increased by 2%, and the maximum salary plus the 460. So this minimum salary on this 50,088 last year was 2% plus 460 less than this. Okay. Makes sense.
So far.
All right, then we get to personnel allocation page. This is the number of employees that are budgeted in each department and how many of the number of employees in each of these classifications. And to the side, it also shows what pay grade they're in. So the first change, we go to county clerk. Last year, we had 2 deputy clerk 3s. Next year, we'll have 1. That position moved up and it's now called an administrative assistant at 1. And Carrie, is this the one you're
This
telling
is
me
where,
wrong?
yeah, because I don't, the chief deputy clerk position does move up to the assistant, but I don't currently, I won't be keeping that. So that 1 needs to go down to the deputy clerk 3 line and make that a 2.
Didn't follow you.
Deputy clerk 7 is where it's showing that I'm gonna have 1 this year, I'm not.
Okay, so
And then this
this
red
needs
2
to be.
becomes a 2.
Okay, so group where it says administrative assistant 1, that is correct. Right under that where it says chief deputy clerk 1, that 1 becomes a 0. And the deputy clerk 3, that was a 2, stays a 2. So it was Okay.
Still 10 employees. It's
Yes,
just-
no change in money, no change in total allocation, but the distribution is changed. Okay. Going to 17010, the increase of the janitorial assistant up to a part-time. County auditor, where it says, assistant auditor 3 went from 3 to 1. Assistant auditor 4 went from 2 to 4. Purchasing, the assistant purchaser 3 at a pay grade 110 went to a pay grade 111. Keep going up everything until, personnel 8. Under the deputy constable 1, this is the $10,000 for the person there. Constable 4, overtime was added because there was overtime added to that budget. And it's, yeah. Road and bridge, no changes, and then we'll get to the Walker County EMS fund, page 69. This EMS basic attendant EMT, it shows it's going down 1 because that position was the position that was approved to go to not be budgeted as that position, but to be budgeted as a paramedic. And then, so that is the change in red there. And then the pay increase is reflected in the budget, but it doesn't affect the allocation. So that's the overview of personnel. All right. Then on page 71 is our project budget, and we haven't gone through this one in depth yet. This is our Fund 105, so this is our summary, but on page 72 and 73, this is the detailed list of the projects that are currently budgeted and are budgeted to remain budgeted. But in IT projects, and the column that we're most looking at is the one that says prior years remain allocated. This is the column that tells us what's in the budget right now. All right, so we have 402,000 in IT projects, 90,000 in software, the 45,000 in document management. In our hard to follow here, 45,000 in document management, and this is where we had talked about whether we needed a countywide document management system or some departments need their own. NCI go down 23,000 in the security system here at the courthouse. We had money in maintenance for several years that wasn't spent. That money was transferred over here a couple of years ago, and it remains available for the courthouse security system. In our facilities projects, 163,000. Contingency, 1,274,000 in our contingency fund projects. 500,000 in that special contingency, which is the capital murder cases contingency. 50,000 set aside in building projects. It was first put here when there was discussion going on about the 4-H. Copier replacement, we have 119 for copier replacement. And then we get to the Tam Road and Senior Center parking lot. I think these were discussed in one of the meetings about whether or not these need to still be here or reallocated.
I thought we talked about moving that to the senior center,
Yeah, and combining them.
over to senior center so they can fix that parking lot.
That was the discussion. Would y'all like to do that? Remove Tam Road?
My vote would be yes on, if I had a vote.
Right, do we have three?
So
Have y'all got Tam Road situated?
it's good enough for now.
So
So
Tam Road would go away, and you're moving it to the senior center parking lot or to senior?
it needs to be the senior center parking lot. I mean, theirs is,
It's bad.
it's getting to where they're gonna have to do
So
something.
that 400,000, okay, got it.
And that would be enough to get a large majority of it done.
Yeah.
Financial system projects, 227,000. Payroll system projects, 99,507. Central dispatch, of that money that the county and the city set aside, we still have 178,000 of that that's not been allocated for any projects yet. Emergency, now this next group is some of our contracts. So emergency service districts 2, there's about 2,668 left in that project. In 3, not 23, 134.78 is still left in that contract. The generator grant, this grant match was set aside several years ago. That grant match is still there for whenever.
I got an email on that last week updating it. So
What'd it say?
they're waiting on some form to get sent in from TDM.
So that's still on the burner. That's good. Waste station project is 11,700. This was set aside several years ago, back before these improvements were done. County was asked to fund the removal of several poles. So that may or may not be needed. I'm not sure the status of that. Going over to page 73. Building security cameras, $8,000. This was at the sheriff's office, redoing some cameras. There's still some money left in that project. EMS equipment, 4636. This is, I think, some money that was budgeted for radios that hasn't been totally spent yet.
Was that, so those are ARPA, that's ARPA, not ARPA money, but money that we back.
Yeah, that was made available.
Okay.
The emergency management projects, this is disaster relief money received over the years that was allocated to this. That money is still available. Constable reserve deputy, that's the 20,000 that was set aside as one-time money in the current year to fund the setup of that project. In our LATCH, our revenue sharing fund, we have $284,000 left of that money. And this was discussed in one of the work sessions as possible funding for an ambulance if that was purchased. 6,500 jail projects that was asked for, but really, I don't think it has a project dedicated to it, but there is money for county jail projects. 65,000 left in the money that was set aside for the jail plumbing projects. Originally, money was set aside, money was spent for the engineering design, and then we've got 65 left in the construction part of that. Boys and girls adult training, we're showing 58,000 remaining here. I was told by Kim, we did get a large invoice the other day, so I'm not sure if it was for the remainder or not. But
It's probably close.
Has been
It
spent.
was pretty close to that.
The Veterans Center, we have $3,600 left in that contract.
So we just spent that the other day on the flagpoles. They may not turn in a receipt. We just did an updated contract and redid the flagpoles out front.
Okay, all right, so that should probably be coming in before the end of the year. The Phelps Sud water projects, $35,000 remaining in that contract. Good Shepherd Mission, $18,000 remaining in that contract. $356,000 in the Dodge subcontract. That one most likely is complete.
That would
Just-
go away, yeah.
GIS projects, 10,216 in planning and development. Seth funded contracts. These are the contracts that basically are now under the our VA officers domain to use on veterans projects. The litter control project, we have about $19,000 left in that allocation. Nuisance abatements, 13,000. And without any adjustments, we have about $4,500,000 allocated in projects. And then your last column is increasing any of these remaining projects by accumulated interest earnings. Is our tax. And that should give you an overview of all of our funds as of what's been discussed today.
Give me a little time here. What are we running at? One time, have we figured out whatever one time these are gonna be?
Are you talking about?
For this
on
year?
Pages 1 through, well, actually, beginning on pages.
1.994.
You talking about what's left? I don't know.
Or I'm missing it.
Okay,
Page
you'll go
4.
to Page 9.
Or no.
The very last number,
Current,
in the
current.
right-hand corner, 10,226 is what, assuming you do the increases over NNR that's been talked about in the general fund, which is the half-cent. At the end of next year, if 100% of everything was collected and 100% of everything was spent, not going to happen, you would end up with $10,226,000 in fund balance at the end of next year, which is a 31% fund balance. So theoretically, anything between whatever fund balance you want to have and what we've got now is available for allocation.
So like this year, our estimated fund balance is gonna be 40%.
Yes, and if you subtract everything that court has discussed to date to fund, add all the revenues and all the ongoing, it brings you down to 31% at the end of the coming year.
Right. So we had 28.9% fund balance left over in 2023, 2020, or let me back up here. In 2022, 2023, we had 34% fund balance, right?
Correct.
How much of that did we put towards one-time expenditure? Or is that already come in there? Is that already calculated?
Okay, that column is actual. Every dime that was spent in that year is counted in there, whether it was ongoing or one time. That was actually what was spent.
Okay.
In most years, pretty much all of one time is spent. It may be a little bit less, it may be a little bit more, with the exception is we don't usually spend all of the $500,000 contingency funds.
So just gonna say it, are we adding, every year we adding to our fund balance?
Some years we add, some years we don't. It depends on how much one time you allocate during that year.
Okay. When we get back in here to our road and bridge, y'all know that
cost of everything is going up. Y'all are all in the same boat. We gotta at some point. No, 600,000. Did we put it 600? Did we knock it to 4 this year?
Knocked it to 4.
Did we- or
You
did we
put
take it
two
back?
hundred.
We don't want to.
Oh, no, you went to 6. You went to
We
600.
stayed at 6.
Yeah, Bill was trying to take my 200.
600 one time, Brandon, 200 April.
Should be nice to put a little something else in with that.
What, though, Brandon, what you have to remember though, the 10 million is what we have left to fund all these grant projects and still keep 15% above
And that was my question.
operating cost.
And that was my question. Are we, every year we're putting money back in the fund balance, drawing that fund balance down, or does it just keep growing?
Some
How much
years it
money we
grows
spend.
and some it doesn't.
Yeah.
depending
It balances
What
out.
you spend of it in that year. Like if you said, I want to allocate $1 million of this to road and bridge one time, that would decrease this number down accordingly. And next year you would see a decrease in that number because of that expenditure. So it's 100% tied to one-time money that you spent. Can it be done? Absolutely.
As long as you got 3 on court, says it can be done. I'll point that out.
But like I said, there's lots of stuff that has an effect on that money as far as what we do. Operating money is basically what it is.
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing now,
Yeah.
putting money in our budget to be able to keep going. That's where
It
that
hinders
comes
that.
from. Comes
Yeah.
from the one-time money.
You have some, big project that is unforeseen that happens, that blows contingency out the water. That's where the money comes from.
All right, so the only thing we got left, I guess, go back across to what Danny was talking about. We need to come up with whether or not we're gonna do the EMS money or not. You need a consensus on that.
I don't see how you can't.
I mean, I'm still going back to my age on it.
Well, I would like
I'm
to,
sorry.
but at this point, I'm not.
And I understand. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand your logic 100%.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, but I want the paramedic to show up for
Yeah.
me.
I get it.
They can have an EMT to help them.
As long as it's a paramedic, may not want to live through
How many paramedics we got now?
it.
Back here in this allocation thingy.
No, we have budgeted. How many do we have?
She's down like 6.
I thought she only had 3 the other day. But I could be way wrong.
I just was.
Yeah, I think she said she was down, but they had done some recruiting and got most of them positions.
They hired me,
Process
fired
of being filled.
Within a couple of days, then she hired one.
How she's able to
She
schedule.
had a process and then she had one applicant and then that was not a fit.
Yeah. On the EMT side, yeah.
Oh, on the straight EMT side, I was talking about overall.
No, like I say, she can get the basics.
And it's been a ongoing Walker County problem. This is nothing new. It goes
Yeah.
back to the 60s and 70s.
No
you
doubt,
know.
and it's gonna continue.
It's
on.
just recruiting them and they get their training and then they move on. I don't think you can fix it.
I don't need.
All you can do is supplement, try to hold them a little longer. Yeah, but
I mean, well, we're next door to, two of the biggest counties that there is in the state, and, Montgomery County's got the most money and they can afford it. We're next door and can't.
They got TikToks hiring people.
TikTok,
They got TikTok ads trying to get how people hired.
really?
So they having problems too at that pay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They're struggling down yonder, yeah.
Can't just throw money at a problem
Of
either.
course, we got 50 million illegals and can't get a soul to go to work. That's the budget. I can say it. The truth is the truth. So,
So
Nobody wants to work.
let's start with the consensus on the EMS pay adjustment for the paramedics. That correlates, and then we'll go on to a consensus on the budget, what tax rate's gonna be in the budget as far as the increase over that. So Brandon, we'll start with you.
I like it. Yeah, she starts with a leader.
Increase, is your, this is a census vote, it's not a formal.
Yes.
They always start on this side. Thank you.
Oh, you don't want me to call your name?
Oh, no.
Everybody turn around in the chair and hold the card up.
It's nice not to be first. I like it on that other end every now and then.
Well, that's because you already know where you're at now.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be for it.
For it, okay, and for leaving it. I mean, I want to be clear, but we're voting.
I'll be real clear. I'm for adding the paramedic and the district chief's increment calculated at $3 per hour for 308,000.
Well, you don't have to be back.
That's pretty clear, wasn't it?
I'm for that.
Yeah, that's pretty clear.
I'm still no.
I'll be a 4. He's gonna be a no. I'll help you with it.
Okay. Oh, and okay. So
I'm still
the
58 years old.
consensus is it stays
Leaving it.
in the budget.
Yes.
Okay. Now.
I'm not happy about it
I ain't either.
at all. Don't get me wrong, but that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right, the next question is the consensus on the 2.5 cents over the NNR rate. And we know the NNR rate is 0.25 more than the current rate. So Danny, you're first this time.
I'm still for it. Either way, got much choice.
I'll be a yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
You have voted to spend all that money.
Yeah, you voted to spend it.
All right. That's that one. Yeah.
Can't have it both ways.
No.
I said yes.
I didn't hear you.
I didn't hear you say
Man, I
it.
want to hear you.
Tough budget.
It's tough.
Oh, it is a tough budget, and it's hard to do. It is.
Yeah, it is. It's a major.
I mean, we
But-
got lots of tough decisions to make.
But
Yeah.
you get to raise the flag and say, look what we did. I mean, a
Oh, yeah,
big piece of this budget
Yeah.
is increased, not just the salaries of who we have, but we put 6 new.
Yeah.
6 new medical people on the ground in a station and increased our,
Yeah, that's definitely justified.
and that's what it costs.
Absolutely.
And I think that's,
Now,
that's,
the one main question I have. Do we have anything from this budget that we're gonna have to put in the tax rate next year's budget?
Everything you've added this year is funded with the rate you are proposing.
We ain't
So
kicking the
the
can
answer-
down the
answer-
road on nothing.
Nothing's
There's
kicked down the
kicked
can.
down the road.
I like that.
I don't really like kicking things down the road, and I think we need to kind of stop doing that.
Until we come back to the one-time money that we put in there. To help it.
That's what I'm asking. How much one-time money do we put in this budget?
51,000 in the general fund that will be covered with revenue differences in the current year. So no, I think you're fine. I mean, if you looked at general fund right this minute, and I don't have that page, there's 151,000. If you look at, add up all your revenues and you subtract all your one-time expenditures, there's $151,000 difference.
And we need to put that 151,000 in this tax rate.
That's your motion? Can't make a motion in there, can I?
Because we're
I'm
kicking,
good with it.
we're kicking
Yeah, I don't want to kick nothing down.
$151,000 down the road.
It's only like 1/6 of a cent.
I don't
It'll
disagree.
probably
with-
be in there with
I
the
said,
half.
if we're gonna do it, let's just put it all in there and be done with it.
Okay.
What do y'all think?
Yeah.
I don't like
Here we
kicking it
go.
down the road.
That was a question. I was glad you brought that up.
Okay, done. I hear that consensus on that.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, done. All right, now, one last question. Is there any information you need, want, anything else you want me to look at, and bring back next Monday, other than what the actual calculation?
Calculations, all I need.
The retirement thing was.
Yeah.
The retirement deal. We were
Oh,
talking
yes,
about-
and I will bring back that
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Do you?
Or I can, shoot
Email
y'all an
it.
email on
Yeah.
that individually if you. would like.
Because that don't have nothing to do with the budget. That we can set, study.
The only effect we would have on the budget is that we are budgeting for, all retirees and future retirees. That is, if you wanted to reduce that budget on this 151, we certainly could do it and keep it at the 2.5, whatever you want to do. But yes, you do have the opportunity to, not budget that money,
Not budget.
the money for the retirees.
I need to.
No, the future
100 people, that's
retirees.
not. there.
No, not the people who are currently retired, but the future retirees. There is money in the budget for those people.
Right, there's 2.2.
Oh, No. 200,000. In the working budget, in tax
In the
rate.
working budget. We've got them in there.
Funded in the tax rate.
That goes into your one-time money the next year, your contingency.
Exactly.
It's just that cushion. Yeah.
You don't spend it, you have it, you
And then
make
spend
your
it.
budget for next year, but theoretically, we know we're not gonna spend it going into the budget. Except for anybody that retires in the current year.
Well, there again,
Take
we
people.
appreciate all your help, Mr.
I don't know how you put up with it.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, I got no executive, session, any public comments, questions from media, commissioners court.
Got nothing.
Time is 11:21.